Another little job on Sally's new folding bike is the tyres. It comes with Schwab Big Apple puncture resistant tyres, really good tyres. How puncture resistant they are, I'm not entirely sure. Now, we live in the Chiltern Hills. Certainly with the mountain bikes, we get quite a lot of thorns and things through the tyres, and I just had a tyre change because the tyre had actually been physically damaged, and they found 3 thorns sticking through it. And the reason that I didn't know is I run Slime tyre sealant, which I know there are other brands, but it's always worked very well for me. So what I intend to do, done it on my own bike or my own folding bike, I'm going to put some slime in Sally's bike tyres. The advantage of these bikes, they have Schrader valves, just like your car or truck. I like these valves, you know, pick up larger trucks, you might be running tyres up to quite high pressure, they get a hard life, and the valves seem to work very well, and it's very easy to replace the inner. My mountain bike has got Presta valves, and I hate them. They're narrow diameter, and I've just, on Sally's mountain bike, replaced her valves with these. I've drilled out the wheels and then fitted tubes which have these larger Schrader valves. It makes a big difference for maintenance. So the nice thing is these come ready fitted with this, so you can pump this up at any garage which has an air pressure line, for example. So it says on the back of the tyre sealant, there's a little graph, so it says for bicycles 118 millilitres, which is marked on here, is enough per tyre. Now of course that's for a normal bike, so think, for example, mountain bikes, quite big tyres, much bigger diameter than this. These are only 20-inch wheels, so we're going to put in quite a bit less. Now to get the sealant in, I'm going to remove the valve core. The cap of this does actually include a valve core removing tool, but it's only plastic, so I struggled on my bike using that. So I have actually got, which I keep in my mountain bike kit, is this, which actually is, you could actually keep it on here, I think it's the right size, but this is metal and it's got the correct ending. So what we can do is just put it in here, feel around until we feel it click in like it did there, and now just unscrew. It'll be a bit tight because this has never been out. There we go. Start unscrewing the valve. Now it's still got air in here, and so I'm going to be careful when I remove it, because otherwise it could just like fly. There we go. That's it coming out. You can see the tyre going down. So there is the valve. And I've had, in the Middle East once, I had like a young lad when I was in the desert. He just, he actually dropped the tyre pressure, and then he re-inflated the tyres when coming out of the desert by just taking the valve core out, putting a pump on there and pumping up, because it was faster than pumping it up with the valve in. But I certainly wouldn't have the skills he had to get a valve out, put a load of air in on a car tyre, or a truck tyre in this case, and then quickly screw the valve back in. That was quite impressive. So I've put the valve to one side, the valve core and the dust cap, and also that little tool, because I'm working on grass here, it would be easy to lose it. Now the sealant comes with a tube. Actually it's quite a short tube on this bottle. Some of them seem to have longer tubes. So I'm going to just hold the inner tube there, squeeze the tyre so this doesn't come out. Yeah, that should be enough. And then put this in and squeeze a load of this in. I think that should be okay for this size of tyre. We can always put it in more if necessary later. Now I can put the valve back in, making sure it's the right way round, because I don't have my reading glasses on. Right, it's like that. Okay. sort of only doing it finger tight, you know, put a bit of tightness with the fingers, but not a tremendous amount. I think that will do for that. Now I'm using just a hand pump here. This is the one I keep with the mountain bike. It's got a little gauge on it, so I did actually check what the tyre pressure was before I started, and it was set to 2 bar, so we'll put that back in. I mean, it might vary, and if you've got people run some of these some city bikes to much higher pressure, or road bikes, but these came with 2 bar. They seem to handle very nicely at 2 bar, so I'll put that back in. So interestingly, you can feel with this Schwalbe tyre, see how soft the sidewall is, but you can feel that there is definitely a strip in there of reinforcing to aid against punctures. Press in here so this valve body doesn't retreat into the rim. Start to put some air in. One of the other nice things about this slime is, remember as a child you'd take your punctured tube out, you take it off the bike, you then dip it in water, you blow it up, and you'd see where it bubbled, and then you could mark it and put the patch on. The beauty with the slime is that when you've got a puncture, you just take pull the tube out and just look for the green dot, because the slime will have made a mark. So what I tend to do is, if the tyre goes down because I've run over something and I'm on a ride, I'll just put some air back in, spin it round to get the slime to redistribute, so it'll generally seal up the puncture then. But often when I get back home, I'll pull the inner tube out. I can see where the puncture is from a little green dot of slime, because it's like a fluorescent green, as you can see, and then I'll just put a patch on it. So slowly my tyres get all patched up, but it means that they're not completely reliant. The slime is then just like a temporary fix. The nice thing with these little city bike 20-inch tyres, they pump up a lot quicker than with a mountain bike tyre. That should do. And pumping that in should have also cleared any of the slime from around the valve. So we'll take that for a quick run in a bit. I'll do the back tyre first, and that'll help distribute the slime around the inner tube. You don't want to do this and then maybe put it away for weeks, and then it forms a big solid lump at one point in the tyre. Anyway, hopefully that was useful, and see you again for the next one.